Hi everyone! Met our beautiful friend, beautiful Nelia. Nelia is giving away 5,000 pesos in cash. Para makasali ka at makapanalo ka ng 5,000 pesos is very simple and easy. Just share your COVID-19 stories with us. All mechanics and details is in our YouTube channel. So please click and visit our Health TV Cebu YouTube channel for more information, details, and the mechanics. See you there!
Pasalamat day ko sa Health TV Cebu nga na sa ako ang nadawat. Daghan kayong salamat dakong tabang sa akong pamilya.
Hi.
Now, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another joyful afternoon every Tuesday. That's me, Joy Mothers. So, this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I will be again um, trying to give some promotion, especially on the tourism industry, because the United Nations just declared last Sunday that it's going to be the day for tourism worldwide. So, this industry, again, ladies and gentlemen, is basically dying in a sense, but we wanted to rise up again. We wanted to rise up from this particular pandemic. But, of course, hope is the matter of all these things. At the end of every tunnel, there's always a light. And to give us a wonderful life this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, my guest is a very special one. He is also from the industry. And of course, he's working really hard to get where he wants. And right now, he's really something that everybody should be proud of. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome on my show a very good friend, a very, very talented staff way back before, no other than Michael Bueno, also known as DJ Kelly.
Hi
Kelly?
everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Cebu, and thank you for all the viewers right now that is live, that is actually watching us here at Joy Matters, of course, with Mom Joy. And I'm very overwhelmed because of the word talented. Like I don't have talent, but I don't know. It's just that
Of course,
people
you
will
have
always see me
talent.
that people will always see me that way, but it feels like I don't know myself much of what I can offer to the
Oh,
world. But I think I'm just enjoying everything that I do for a living or for the way how I live my life also. And I'm happy
of
to be here.
course.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Miss Joy.
Yes, and of course, before anything else, before we're gonna roll on the camera, Kelly.
Uh-huh.
So there's this particular portion that I have created, the shout for joy. We have friends, especially your
Oh,
followers, colleagues. By the way, ladies and
all right.
gentlemen, Kelly notified the chief of staff of Oprah Winfrey. So
Oh yeah,
later
that's true.
we will be discussing about
Talking about
Oprah
that.
Winfrey. Okay.
Yeah.
So go
What
ahead.
that's
Shout
of
for
course
joy,
it's a very
Kelly.
good news that at the very start of the show, I can now shout for joy. Of course, shout out to
Yes.
everyone that is viewing right now. You know, this channel or this YouTube channel on Facebook, Help TV Cebu, will not be successful without the viewers. So I'm saying hello and happy Tuesday to all the viewers. And I would like to say hi to my family as well that is actually viewing right now, and to all my friends and my you know, my the people that knows me, you know, anywhere around the world. Thank you so much for
People knows you. You've traveled
well,
around the
actually,
world,
I have,
Kelly.
yes, because I have so many friends. I've been away, or I've been working abroad for 8 years now, and 50% of my probably could my followers on Instagram and Facebook is international, and 50% of those are just Filipino. I think there's more international than Filipino. So forgive me if I have to
Well,
speak
that's
English.
great.
Yeah, a lot of people are also watching
We
that
have
doesn't
to.
know Bisaya or doesn't know Tagalog. So forgive me if I have to speak English. Pwede sad ko magbisaya. I'm proud to be Bisaya
Yeah.
gyud. Taga Bukid pa gyud.
Mm.
So anyway, yeah, I can say just, you know, to all the people that is watching right now, that's you know, I don't have any special mention, but family and loved ones to my special someone as well.
Yeah.
Duh.
Our main
Mm,
objective of this particular show is to really
uh-huh.
inspire people and motivate people,
Yes,
Kelly. So
correct.
we've been working way back before in the same industry, and that's
Yes,
why we wanted to dedicate this particular show to the industry. And
correct.
we've been colleagues ever
Yes,
since.
that's true.
So I was
That's
just
true.
like, I was just like wondering what made you decide to work outside the country, and
Yeah.
most
Well,
probably, what are the things that you've been doing and do the preparations for such thing?
yeah, that's true. Well, that's a very good question. So I started in this industry actually since college, should I say, because when I was studying in college, I was already working in a fast food chain, and you know, as a part-time student, because I really wanted to learn. You know, it's not about the money, but I always like I'm fascinated with the fast food chain stuff all the time, and you know, it's very hectic on college to do studies and at the same time work. It's just for the experience, and then so should I could say that, you know, I've been with the industry for, let's say that was 2002, and what's now is 2020. So it was like almost 20 years, I think, almost 20 years. It's like 18 years that
Yeah.
I've been with the tourism and hotel and restaurant industry, and I'm very happy with that. So I was working in the Philippines. Actually, most of you probably know that I'm working on a cruise ship. And you know, when I graduated in college, I was a bit disappointed because I applied for a particular company, a cruise line company, and they did not accept me because I was too short the height requirement. And so what I did is that I honed myself working locally in Cebu and in Bohol, and I moved my way up to the managerial position. And that's the time that I worked with you, Miss Joy. And you know, it was, I think,
Yes.
my last position that I worked in the place where we worked together was customer service officer. So I'm happy to be part of the management team, and you know, it
Of
feels good that,
course.
yeah, and when I applied for the cruise ship, I was accepted easily. So it was like a blink of an eye. When I sent my resume, they called me right away and they said that I should be in Manila for an interview. But of course, I live in Bohol, and it's not easy for me to
And
move.
you keep it, a secret from us.
Yeah,
And you keep
secretly.
it a secret from us for
I
8
did keep
months,
it secret.
right?
I keep it secretly because I'm always like that. Like, you know, there are things in life that I have to keep private. Not until I get the final, how do you call this one? Not until I get or I'm sure with it, and that's the time that I can start talking about it. So at that
Yeah.
time, it took me 2 weeks when I get to Manila, and
How
then
hard is
they
it?
it was actually, the interview was really easy because actually my main goal when I go to Manila is not just the interview, but of course to see friends and hang around and party. I was so young at that time. I was very young, and then I think I became a manager when I at the age of 21. So I was, I
Yeah.
was in the industry.
You're,
Um, I was honed very early. So I don't know, maybe because of my potentials and my talents, that's what they always told me. And so when I went there, the goal was just to party. So when I arrived, I party, and then the next day it was my interview, and then luckily I got accepted. I took the
as
examination,
usual.
and yeah, I took the examination on computer, and then I passed. I got the perfect score in math, and I was wondering because I'm not good in math, but it was actually a situational question, and I was able to answer it. And after that, I did a final interview, and then I go back to Bohol and then work again. So I was just quiet about it, and then it took me 8 months actually because I have to prepare my my requirements for the international requirements, which is like the SOLAS that we have to get, like my Siemens book and all that stuff. And actually, I was not ready because I was happy working in the Philippines at that time. I was able to sustain my family. I was able to help myself, and I even have a good life at that time. I mean, I couldn't ask for more. But of course, I'm a dreamer, and my dream is to see the world. And I remember when I was a kid, I'm always fascinated with the Atlas book, like the globe. I always liked that, and I don't know why. I remember when I was 11 years old, when my mom asked me if I want to have a birthday or just a gift. I told my mom that I don't want to have a birthday party. Instead, I just want to have the globe because I really want that. I don't need the birthday party, but I want the globe. So when I had the globe at a very young age, I was fascinated already about the geographical of the world. And I said, like, one day I'll get here, I'll get there, I'll get there, and I'll get here. So it's a law of attraction, actually. It's like, you're dreaming, you're saying it, you're claiming it, and then I get it. So I was able to visit 6 continents. I'm missing one, but I'm just holding my horses for that because I said to myself that if I'm gonna reach my dream of traveling around the world, I will not travel anymore or work in a cruise ship anymore. So I've never been to Australia, but I've been to the 6 continents in the world, and I'm very happy with that. And it is because of my job for 8 years, and it's for free. So I didn't have to pay anything for that. So yeah, and then it's a lot of preparation, but it took me a while because
Yes,
I don't want to leave my previous company because I'm so happy with it. We're family, and you know that, Miss Joy. You know what kind of relationship that we have in Bohol Baby Club. Yeah, I think that's it. So, oh my God,
of course. That I can never forget. That I can never
yes.
forget
So I think there's something wrong with my phone, but anyway,
because all my activities you're there and you're supportive.
yes, of course we have to. Yeah, so that's what I prepared for. And then
Yes.
anyway, the most
And
interesting
when
part.
you reach there at a cruise ship,
Go ahead, Miss Joy. Sorry.
so what my question is what's the first assignment then?
Oh, my first assignment actually before I went to how do you call this one? Before I went abroad, what happened is that I've never told anyone that I'm getting my US visa. So even my parents doesn't know that I'm working abroad. So 1 week before I left the country, I told my parents that I'm leaving, and then my mom says, "Why are you gonna leave? You cannot stay there because you have an asthma, and then it's hard for you to stay away from us." But I said to my parents, especially to my mother, that I really have to leave because this is an opportunity. So my first assignment was a run in Alaska. So it was an Alaskan cruise, and it's very famous because of the wonders of Alaska. So my first country that I visited was United States. So of course I was in Seattle. That was Washington State, and that was my first state that I visited. And the most interesting part when I traveled in the US is that when my flight actually was from Manila to, I think, sorry, Manila to Taipei, and then Taipei to Dallas Fort Worth, Texas. And then when I get sorry, when I get to the Dallas Fort Worth, Texas, I was
Yeah.
left behind by the aircraft going to Seattle. So that was very very interesting, but
Tell
it
me,
was
tell me about it because when you reach,
oh
yeah,
when I arrived in
because
Dallas, I think that
Dallas,
was
Texas airport
Dallas,
is
Texas.
really, really huge.
It was a very it was a busy airport. It was really really busy, and then so my when I arrived, I think we arrived like
Super.
12 noon like U.S. time. When we arrived there, I was in gate one, and then we only have 1 hour and 15 minutes interval. Of course, I was first timer at that time. I've never been to an international airport as amazing as Dallas Fort Worth, or as technologically renowned
Yeah.
airport. And then I don't know how to get to gate 29. Can you imagine from gate 1 to gate 29? And it's a huge establishment, or I mean it's a huge airport, and I didn't know there was a sky ride, or there was like a train on the sky. So I never have an idea about that. I was so young back then, and then I was actually ignorant of what I'm seeing in the window outside the airport, because it was snowing. It was because of the snow. I got so excited and I wanted to see it, and then I was left behind. And then I stayed in the airport for like 5 hours. I stayed in the airport for 5 hours, and yeah, instead of me exploring Seattle
Well,
the
longer
day before
layovers.
I joined, I,
Longer layovers.
yeah, I never had time to explore Seattle anymore because I arrived very late at 9 p.m. I think, and then that's it. So I was just sleeping the whole night. Actually, I did not sleep when I get to the hotel because I wanted to experience the sleepless night in Seattle. So it was a movie. But just for the experience, I wanted to experience it, but I was so tired. I didn't even sleep at the aircraft because it's mixed emotions of excited and scared at the same time of what the world can offer to me. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, so I'm so excited to know about how you come to how come you've happened to work with Oprah.
Oh yeah, so it's a very interesting part. I did not expect that as well. So before Oprah Winfrey, actually, the cruise ship industry has offered me so much opportunity to to met a lot of influential people around the world in the entertainment industry, and also in the in normal life, probably with people. So I was working actually in an entertainment department in the cruise ship. So and then I was able to actually meet Queen Maxima of Holland first in Netherlands before I met Oprah Winfrey. But before that, in between, I was able to see a lot of artists, like international artists, like George Benson, Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight, Earth, Wind, and Fire, to name a few. And there's more actually. And then yeah, at that time, my manager told me that Oprah Winfrey is coming to our company because we have a partnership with Oprah Winfrey. So we're gonna have a cruise. It was not a chartered cruise, but with Oprah magazines. We are promoting Oprah magazines at the same time. It's like an X deal. Oprah Winfrey promoting also the cruise ship, and then there was like Oprah cruise at that time, and then they're looking for someone who's going to be a butler of Oprah Winfrey, or a personal assistant at the time. And then I was working in the VIP lounge at that time, and then so my big boss asked me if I can do it. I even declined it at the beginning because I don't want to have pressure, or like I don't want to like run everywhere, just because I know she was a busy person. She was the queen of United States, and she's very influential, and there's a lot of people that will go gaga for her. And so I said to my boss that if there is someone who can do it, why not them? So but anyway, I was still chosen to be that person that can take care of her. And yeah, and I was able to do it. So I met her on her first cruise, and then I just simply worked with her and made her a coffee actually. So it was all about the coffee. It was all about the coffee that when she comes back, she decided to have me again as the butler or the personal assistant of Oprah Winfrey because I made a coffee that, that's named after me. So every time I have, a very important guest, I always give them my own recipe at the time. So my own kind of coffee. And then she likes it. And then, I remembered everything. So when she comes back, because she became our godmother of every cruise ship. So if there is a cruise ship that is new or that will be out at sea, like the first sailing, it should be blessed, or it should be like there should be christening of it. And she was the godmother of that ship. So the ship, of course, she christened the ship. So it was Oprah Winfrey. And then when the time that she comes back, so she had a lot of show inside the ship. And then I was the one that was taking care of her personal needs inside her suite or in her penthouse, and then also taking care of the backstage, taking care of all the things that she needs. And then so at that time we had a great conversation together. So it's like very normal to have a conversation with Oprah while everyone is having that kind of experience. But to me, it was just an easy part of it. Like we make coffee in the kitchen together, we toast bread together, I prepare the fruits
It
together with
is.
Oprah. Like she even invited me to have like dinner with them, like together with Gail King. So Gail King is a news anchor in America, and then she is like also she's the best friend of Oprah Winfrey, and it's a very nice feeling that we know that she's a big personalities in the world. She's a philanthropist. She's empowered, an inspirational woman to everybody, and yet she treated me like a normal person, like come here, eat with us, come here. Like it's not like it's very she's very humble, and she's very down to earth person. And I was expecting that she was a diva, but she is not. She's a very nice person. And that actually, having a conversation with Oprah personally many times, I've learned a lot. And somehow it changed my life perspective as well on how the way we see things, especially on certain situations. But there's a difference. It's just, I always wanted to give inspiration to others, like especially sharing my stories to them, way back when I was a kid until wherever I get now, or wherever I am now. I always wanted to share stories because I want to inspire people. But meeting her added more willingness and eagerness to help people in a way, by helping them not just by giving kind, or by giving anything that you can give, but it's sometimes also about a word of advice that you can give to people, or something that using your gift of gab to inspire other people by sharing stories or advising them. And then somehow it's not just it's been working, but I think I find that as a purpose of my life as well, because a lot of my friends and a lot of my actually even like people right now that is I'm working in a radio station, they come to me and ask for advices and help on what they can do about it. And I did not expect that I become like that. But it's a good feeling, but somehow sometimes you know some people will really go dig deeper with your personal life. But of course, all you gotta do is just you have to put boundaries and limitations of yourself. But I'm happy with with what I achieve or what I have become. It may be not a material thing, or it's maybe not a like big amount of money in the bank or a big houses, but with the people that I inspired, I think I was so happy with that. So yeah. Murag tabian na jud ko kaayo.
It's okay. It's That's the purpose of why you're here. So to give inspiration and to motivate
Oh,
others, especially those in the industry,
yes, I
Kelly.
wish I could inspire them.
So any other wonderful memories and experience?
Memories and experience. Well, memories and experience, as I've said before, I always fascinated to travel around the world, and I always wanted to, like, just to see places. But after 2 years or after two contracts, I think I became more interesting in seeing the place, not just the place or the beauty of the place, but to see the culture and the tradition and the people. Like I wanted to know more about how they live. Like I wanted to know more how rich is Dubai, how did the people live there, or how rich is the people in Norway, or how poor is the people in Greenland where they could not get any food on a certain time. Like that kind of things. Like, you know, I always wanted to know more about that now. Like it's not just only the geography, but of course I wanted to share culture with them, because when you travel, you open your eyes and your mind not just to the beauty of the place that you see, but it's a matter of learning and education as well on what you can see into the place. Like I maybe not remember the geography, like how do you call this one, like how it was draw or how it was formed, but I remember a certain thing that I did in a certain country, and the most unforgettable experience that I made was to have a charity works in Greenland, and it feels so good. Like, you know, of course, the like, you know, it was a transition. Like we came from Europe and then we went to Canada, New England, and New York in that particular place. And you know, we stopped by in Greenland. You know, Greenland is a very not difficult, not poor country, because they have a huge land area. However, it's so difficult for them to get the kind of food that normal probably community will have because of the fact of the weather. So when the weather, that kind of weather that they are experiencing, they have different kind of living as well. And I remember that, you know, the government allows them to get like a whale shark. I don't know, it was the right, but it's something like that, like 4 times in a year. And that's the one that they're going to share to the community. It's a very small population. So before we get there, we decided, like our management team, we decided to like try to seek some charity works inside the ship, and then we're gonna drop by in that
That's
particular
nice.
island. It's like the name of the island is Kakortok Island in Greenland, and then so we put a table in like in the atrium or where the guest services or the front desk is located, and then we put like a sign there like donation for Greenland and Kakortok, because they're like poor, not as I've said, I'm not sure if they're poor, but they are having different kinds of living. So they could, I think they did not experience to have squash, or they did not experience to have apple, because those are the things that are not like, you know, that will not grow in the area, because most of the land in Greenland is like stones and covered with snows, something like that. So it's so difficult for them to get food, and the only thing that they can get is actually fish, and of course some animals or wild animals probably. But of course they also need to follow the government protocols. So we gathered a lot of clothing, we gathered a lot of foods, we even like, you know, it was a great experience. So there was like a tender boat, so it was like three tender boats that we used to get to the island in order for us to pass on that donations and charity works. And that's one thing that I never forget. So because it feels so good in the heart. And there's more, actually, there's more charity works that we made, like marine cleaning or coastal cleaning in in a different country that we go. And there's more like more on environment. So because that's what we have to take care of, especially with our industry or with the cruise ship industry. We have to take care of the environment in order for us to keep moving, especially the marine life.
Okay. So now that's your job. So let me pose this particular question. What do you think is your great contribution to your family?
Well, the contribution to my family, of course, as you know, that in every seafarer, or like, you know, in every seaman, or like whatever cruise ship worker, they always get like allotment. How do you call this one? It's like a policy of the government in the Philippines. There should be a remittance system, and that's the way how our family can earn also from us. It's not about actually the money that you contribute to your family, but like the way of living, probably, because I always believe that, it's not a matter of a rocket science or an overnight work that you can get what you have right now. So I'm proud that I grew up in a poor family, and we work hard, not just only me, but also my siblings, my brother and my sister work very hard in order for us to have the living of what we have right now. It's still difficult. It's maybe not the perfect life, but we are happy as a family. And I think the greatest contribution that I have is, um, you know, to be able to sustain some of the needs of what we have right now. So I think that's the
Precisely.
basic thing. And more importantly, again, not just to my family, but of course to my relatives as well, to become an inspiration to them, especially to my nephews and nieces who wanted to do what I want, do what I'm doing because of they see me of traveling and then doing this and doing that. It somehow inspires other people as well. But you know, and I think me alone is a great contribution to my family. And I cannot. It's hard to measure contribution because we never measure those. But you know, um, we're happy of what we have right now. It's again, it's not. It's becoming difficult because of this pandemic, but laban. So
Well,
you never
you're a
give
gift to
up.
your family.
What is it?
Mm. You're already a gift to your family, and
Mm,
I
I
believe that
think
is your great contribution to your family, Kelly.
yes, thank you. So yeah, and then of course I think we are a gift, and also to our
Yes.
parents actually is a
And
gift to
what
us.
are yes. And right now, how do you feel about all these things? I mean,
How do you feel
you're in
regarding
your house right now, been traveling all over the world.
how do I feel? Um, well, I feel different. Actually I've been
How do you
when
feel
I
right
arrived,
now?
it was raining here. I'm not sure if you can hear the rain. Uh, when I arrived in the Philippines during after the like my situations with this pandemic thing, I went to a depression stage and anxiety because I was so scared and I don't know what to do about my life. Like I didn't even like save. I was not prepared. So I was not prepared to face this kind of situation in the world. And I don't know what to do. Like I don't know where to get resources in order for me to leave. And of course, I have dues to pay, I have bills to pay, and I don't know how to get it. So I was so depressed, I was so down, I was just lying in the bed all the time, crying, and then, thinking of what I can do for this. For now, I am grateful, the same gratefulness that I have in during my experience abroad, because at the end of the day, it's how the way you see life. You have to see life in the most optimistic way. You have to be positive all the time, but
Correct.
making it sure that no matter how hard the situation it is, there's always a solution for every problem. Because that's one thing that Oprah Winfrey told me when we first met. She said that everything happens in your life, whether it's good or bad, it's all meant to be. So whatever it is right now, no matter how difficult I have right now, I don't have a job or I don't have
Mm,
anything. I don't even have a business because again, I'm not prepared for this situation and it's so difficult, but I have to leave. I have to wake up every day and be grateful, because waking up alone and being alive with this pandemic, you are blessed already and you have to be grateful with that. I Yeah,
correct.
I'm grateful. Same with feeling before and until now
Correct.
I'm so grateful.
So would you encourage other Filipinos to follow your in working abroad
Yes,
and leave
definitely.
family?
Well, definitely I would like to encourage. I cannot hear you clearly, but can you just nod if I hear the right question? What if I have? Do I encourage? Do I have to encourage, or would you like? Can you, sorry, can you repeat the
Would
question?
you encourage other would you encourage other Filipinos to
Would I
follow you?
encourage the Filipinos?
Would you encourage other
Correct.
Filipinos to follow you in working abroad and leave their family?
Yes. Well, definitely, I would like to encourage people to follow their dreams because dreams do come true. For me, I'm still a dreamer. Like, I maybe achieve some of my dreams, but I will dream harder and dream more. And that's one day, you know, I have a long-term dream and short-term dreams or goals in life. And I encourage them to follow their heart's desire. Like if they really wanted to go abroad with a pure heart of helping their families, then do it. But if there is a great opportunity back home for you to make your own business and it will grow, then do it. It's the same actually. So as I always say to people that you always follow your heart's desire, and if you have a pure heart of what you wanted to do in life, and I think that's the best thing that you can do. If you have to leave because you have to leave for your family because you want to support them, and then you wanted them to have a better life compared to the life that you had before, then do it. There's nothing wrong in that. you know, OFW nowadays is the new heroes of the new generations in the Philippines. And, you have to be thankful for that because we're also, all overseas Filipino workers are helping our economy, not just your family, but you're also helping the
That's
economy.
right. That's
And,
right.
if it makes you live better, then do it. Don't hesitate to leave the country. Remember that nothing will happen in your life if you don't go out with your comfort zone. So go out with that box, go out in the box if you wanted to know more, if you wanted to learn more, if you want to get more for your life. But before you go out in the box, then learn what's inside the box. And if you're ready to leave, if you're ready to go out in that box, then you are in the right time and in the right track. And I always believe in that there's always a good timing for everything, because if the stars are aligned for you, then it's really meant for you.
Okay, so you think that's the sacrifice that you've been doing for your family.
Yes, it's a big sacrifice to stay away from your loved one.
Kelly, you think that's the only is that the only thing that you sacrifice for your family, or any other factors of your life been
Well,
sacrificed?
sacrifice, when we love the person, we always sacrifice. Not agony though, but sacrificing is very normal for your loved ones. And the biggest sacrifice that I made for myself is to stay away from my family, and to have a different life. Like my friends that I used to grow up with together, our social life and their social life are different. My social life and their social life are different because I'm not here all the time. And it's kind of different. It's kind of difficult actually to be away from your family. It's really hard. I remember my first contract that I always cry at night because I'm so scared. Like I don't know what to do. It's kind of different because I'm living in a close community.
Wow.
It's not the same like working on land, and we work 7 days a week with no day off. And it's difficult in a way that, if you have um trouble with your emotions and you wanted to have an outlet, there's no such thing as outlet on the ship. Unlike on land, you can go to a park, you can go to a restaurant, you can go to watch cinema, go to
Correct.
the mall. But on the ship, we don't have that. You just have your four corners of your room, and that's it. So it's very, that alone
Mhm.
is a big sacrifice for yourself. So if there's people watching right now and wanted to apply or work in a cruise ship or in a ship, not just even cruise, but in other tanker or whatever, how do you call this one, cargo ships or anything like that, For those of you who would like to become a seafarer, you have to think about it because it's really different when you work on land. It's really, really different. Uh, Having a very small outlet when it comes to that kind of job. So some of it, like some, especially in cargo and tanker ships, it's really difficult because they stayed on at sea for like 30 days, 40 days, or sometimes even 60 days. Unlike in cruise ships, you go to a certain country or a certain place day after day. Like, sometimes it's every day, which is really, really good because it will help you as well to, to step on land and enjoy the place and see the beauty of it. That is your perks of the job, and you have to take care of it. But of course, don't forget
Okay,
your main priority. That the reason why you go
that's
there
right.
because you have to work, not to travel. But the traveling is just the perks for it,
Okay, and
and
see
see
the
the world for
world.
free.
Okay, so mhm, mhm. So what is the particular experience during this COVID-19 outbreak? What is experience?
Well, the experience that I had is it's kind of it's really tough. It's really difficult in a way that when the world locked down. I was in Florida at that time. I was in Fort Lauderdale in Florida, and you know that was March 15 when most of the countries in the world locked down because of this COVID-19 and this pandemic. And of course, I was on the ship at that time. I just came back to work, and it's scary because again, I don't have anything. Like I did not save anything because I just came back to work at the time, and then eventually it became locked down on the 15th. We don't have guests anymore, so we travel to South America, still following our itinerary to get to the Pacific Ocean because we don't know what's the plan of the company yet for the cruise. So we just crew inside the
Wow.
ship, and I remembered that I stayed on the ship at sea without not even going to land. I think that was, let me see, April 15, that was like 108 days that I was at sea. And it was really difficult because of course it's really hard not to get on land. And honestly, there was like some of my colleagues that are having depression and some mental health issues because of the situation. But our company is really good in handling this kind of situations. And we keep on reminding every crew that is on board to be like to be aware all the time, to give awareness all the time of what this pandemic can cost them, especially to those people that are staying on the ship without seeing any land or without stepping on land. And I played so much role for that by giving inspirations to everyone with doing some activities for the crew, and even doing a show for everyone just to make it sure that everybody will be inspired. And I think the name of my show at the time was K Show. So and I was very happy because I was able to inspire not just only my colleagues but other ships as well. And since my job is actually doing the announcement um, on the bridge together with the captain, so during my PA announcement or my public announcement, I always make a words of encouragement, words of wisdoms that I can share to people, and making it more fun for everyone, just to make it sure that everybody is aware with the situation. And keep on reminding everyone, it's just keep on reminding everyone to distance each other and wash their hands all the time. And it was really tough. It was really, really tough until we get to Manila Bay. When we get to Manila Bay, so we were part of that cruise ship. That there's a lot of cruise ship that was on the news before. That there's a lot of Filipino waiting to get off the ship, and I was there waiting for the chance to get off and go home to my province in Bukidnon, because at that time I don't think of anything anymore. I don't think about if I have money or what will happen to me. I just wanted to go home and be with my family. So that's the thing that I only wanted at the time. So finally, the time came that the
So
Philippines,
were you were you treated?
we were treated very well with the company. Like we are living still in a luxury
So
life. So we're staying in a guest cabin. I was lucky to stay on the suite cabin, and then we're having still a great food. And my company, I would like to say thank you to Holland America Line, which is my company, who made our life better in a way that they took care of us, the way how we live inside the ship before we were sent home. So since we have nothing to do, we don't have jobs to do. So the non-essentials, including me, because I was in the entertainment department, um, I I need to get off the ship because I don't have any entertainment. I don't have any shows to make. So I don't have any I don't need to make any programs or event for everyone. So I have to go home. So when we get to Manila,
Mhm.
we did a swab test by the Philippine Coast Guard, and then we waited for the result, and then when we get the result, so they allow us to get off the ship using tender boats. And when we arrive in the in Manila port, I think it was Pier 15. So we were sent off directly to the airport to make it sure that we will be sent home to our provinces. And the rest of the people, like my colleagues that are from Manila, they were, their family took care of them, and some of them were sent on a certain location actually in Manila. So it was pretty much organized in coordination with the agency in Manila and our company in Seattle, Washington, and of course with the government. The government plays a big role on sending off OFW. That's why I wanted to share to everyone. On some other people's, they don't understand why the government made priority to the overseas Filipino worker, because in some ways, um, same like you guys that are watching right now that are staying here in the Philippines, you are paying tax and you are helping, of course, the economy of the Philippines. Same goes with us. Even if we're far away, we're not, also just leaving the Philippines to avoid the taxes, but of course we're also doing remittance that help the economy of our country. And that's the reason why our president made a priority, or somehow not really a priority, but he all wanted all overseas Filipino workers to just go home and making it sure that they're all safe. And I think the main priority of the government or the president at that time was to be safe, just to be here at home. And then they made everything for us to be sent home, in coordination with OWA and DOLE. So when we get to the airport, we waited for a flight that is available all the way to our provinces. And we arrived in the airport at 12 noon, and then we finally had a chance to fly to go home at 10 p.m. in the evening. But all the meals are given by OWA and Tole. And after that, when we get to Cagayan de Oro, because my province is Bukidnon, so when we get to Cagayan de Oro, we were actually taken care of again by the regional, how do you call this one? Regional, whatever, regional OWA, which is sent us to a hotel, and then we waited for our provinces uh, to get us again in the airport. When we get to our province took care of us again. We did the rapid test again. So there's so many tests. There was like, I think I did one swab test, two rapid tests until I get home to my town. When we get to my town, I was able to stay in a quarantine facility that our LGU prepared for overseas Filipino worker. And there was an opportunity that was given to me to have a home quarantine, because we have a separate place that I can be quarantined here at our home, which which is away from my family, or my parents and my brother and my sister and my nephew as well. So it was a tough experience. The way to go home is really tough. I even made like something for that. Like I love to write, and I think I made a lot of poems for that. And then it was a great experience. At the same time, it was tough, but at the end of the day, again, we need to be grateful because of we're alive and we're happy with that.
Okay. So, as a Filipino, are you proud to be one?
As a Filipino, if I'm proud to be one, yes, of course, I'm proud to be one. Filipino is especially on my industry, we are the number one producer of a Filipino crew staff, a cruise ship staff, and we should be proud of that because we excel a lot in a different fields in around the world and anywhere you go. So this is one thing that I never forget. Also, that I remember always in my travel, any country that I've been. So by the way, I've been to 128 countries in the world, and I cannot count anymore how many cities that I've been uh,
Mhm.
through. But every country that I've been, there's always a Filipino. There's always a Filipino restaurant or a Filipino flag or somehow a Filipino community, and that's the most not funny, but it's like good for the heart that you always see Filipino everywhere you go, and I'm proud of that. I may be not a full Filipino because I'm half Arabian and a half Filipino, but my blood is 100% Filipino. My heart is 100% Filipino, and I'm happy with that. Is everything okay,
Okay.
Miss Joy?
So your nation will be great again, Kelly, after this pandemic crisis. Kelly,
Yes.
do you think this nation would be great again after this pandemic crisis?
I believe so. We can always be great.
And if given
Every
another
nation
chance
can
again
always
to
be
work,
great.
okay.
I think the best answer for that is in every nation, we can be all great, or the nation can be great starting from ourselves. Starting from every single person who lives in our nation. Like with this pandemic, the best thing that we can do right now is to be socially responsible and, to not to put blame in everything that is happening. Don't put blame on the police. Don't put blames on the government that they have so many lapses with what they are doing with this pandemic. But sometimes blame yourself because you are not responsible enough for this particular situation.
Mhm.
Being a social responsible, if every person in this country will feel great on themselves, I think this country will be great again in a way that when everyone is helping each other because we can achieve things together when we are all together, no? We will be great again because
Okay.
we can.
So if given the chance, so given the chance to work outside the country again, would you do the same thing that you did way back?
Well, I have it's a 50-50 now. For some reason or for some safety reason or safety of my health, in fact, I had a job offer, but I declined it because I decided just to stay in the Philippines because I was so scared. At the end of the day, if I'm not alive, then how can I sustain my life? So if I go there and risk myself, uh, not knowing the protocols of the certain country where I go, then I don't want that. So I better be with my family right now and also support them and helping them, reminding them of what we can do or how we can be socially responsible with the situation. And I think for now, I don't want to close my door. But of course, if this whole pandemic will end and we can find solutions about this, definitely I will go back because, you know, at the moment, I really don't have anything and it's so difficult to start again and to have a new beginning again. Like, I wish I have saved some so that I will be able to open a business, but it was not meant to be. And this time, I cannot do anything about it, but just to rely on the talents that I have. Like I'm doing hosting um, of any events, wedding, birthdays, or anything under the sun that I can earn money. And you know also like I'm doing buy and sell. Like some of my stuff I've sold it and then I buy stuff and then sell it again because that's the easiest way that I can get right now. I wish I could have an investor, an investment that could invest in me in order for me to start my business and use my potentials and my talents. But at the moment, sometimes we just need to rely on what we have and be contented for it. So slowly but surely, but of course, if there's opportunity, yes, I will. With as long as it's safe to travel.
It's important thing.
Yes,
And I understand you really love your family, Kelly.
of
So
course, you know.
your message to your family.
Yes, of course. I think every Filipino, it's our culture and tradition that we love our family. And well, I consider them as my strength and my weakness. Of course, my message for them is just to stay strong and be healthy all the time and making sure that you are safe. And, don't forget to pray that, we will all get this together. I mean, this too shall pass, and we can get through this together as long as we are together, helping each other. I'm sure there's always, you know, a light in every dark tunnel. After every dark tunnel, there's always a light at the end of the way. So just keep on believing that, this too shall pass and we can get through together. This will be okay. One day things will be okay, the world will be okay, and just continue to um, pray and just stay healthy. That's all I can ask for, because health is wealth. Tama ba?
That's right. Okay.
All right.
So you mentioned earlier that you're not really 100% Filipino.
Yeah.
So this is now the right time to claim who you are. And I made a promise to you that we would like to on your real and
Yes,
biological
no,
father,
it's
most
a very
probably, if we can do something about it. So I guess this is now the right time,
yeah,
Kelly.
it's a very very tough situations that I have, because I remember
This
my
is now time
biological mother
to.
went to Abu Dhabi like how many years ago? That was
Okay.
1986, and then she got pregnant with her boss. And I don't know what's her name, what's my father's name. I don't know who he is, but my mom's name is
Okay.
Corsini Balucan. My mother's name is Corsini Balucan. So a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
told me to look at it in
Mm-hmm.
OWA to see the records. If OWA has the records of her employer, and then we can trace that person, and then that might be the lead of whoever is my father. Because when I was born actually out of wedlock, because my mom was scared. She was so young at that time when she got pregnant by, of course, not a Filipino, an Arab. So my aunt, actually, which is my mother right now, decided to adopt me, and I'm so thankful with that. I'm so blessed with that, because without my mother, or my father right now, also that is my mother husband, I will never be here today. And they are my hero, and then because of them, I become who I am right now, and I'm happy that I was adopted. And my mom also passed, my biological mom passed away when I was 11 years old, and never had a chance to um, tell me about my father's name, whoever he is right now. So if ever who's watching right now and, would like to help me to find my father, my Arab father, you may probably just help me to find in OWA by using my mother's name, which is Corsini Balucan. And of course, you can reach me on my Facebook account, which is probably linked into this show right now. So much for that. I'm doing some things also that some of my friends are helping out. But sometimes again, as I always believe, if it's meant to be, the time will come. If the stars are aligned for you, it will really come. But hopefully one day, if God will permit that, and it would be a great opportunity to know your blood.
Well, it's
Can
part
hear
of
you
life,
clearly,
Kelly. So
Miss
we really have
Joy.
to move. Anyways, any activities that you wanted to promote,
Yes,
Kelly?
Miss Joy.
Any activities that you wanted to promote at this point in time?
I'm actually
Your
working
current
now as
activities,
a
so everybody
Jackie
would
and
know
Radio Pinoy
once
101.
again what you're doing.
And I think the coverage is only right here in Region 10 and somehow also in Davao City, Region 11 and Region 12, I guess. Our coverage will go to that part of Mindanao. And I wish I could invite everyone in Cebu to listen to me on the radio on the weekend. So I'm your favorite DJ on the weekend. And I play new songs of the new generations, old songs. And also, I have a Sunday with Love, playing love songs as well. Of course, I'm relaunching my vlog. I was a vlogger before when I started my travel, and this time I'm relaunching it. I'm still finalizing the materials, and once I have it, just go to YouTube and look for my channel, which is Kelly Bueno. So I hope you're gonna support me for that. And for now, I don't have much of activities, and you know, who knows if I'm gonna get a job. If anyone is watching right now and would like to hire me, let me know. I can be a good part of your team. Oh, di ba? Nakakuan ko, Ma'am Joy. Naka-promote pa ko.
Okay. So, I the time is really so fast, Kelly. So we have to send your loving message to all the
All right.
viewers
So,
of Joy Matters.
all right. Well, to all the viewers of Joy Matters, thank you so much for supporting Joy De La Cruz, of course, for this wonderful show. This is actually not just about the news, but of course, it's about the story behind it, and I really love it, and I'm happy to be part of it. And who knows, one day, we'll be working together, and it's nice to be here because Mom Joy and I are like having the same goal in life, have the same purpose in life, that we always wanted to give inspiration to people, not just again by giving in kind, but sometimes it's giving it by words. And I hope the story of mine would, help you to be more, to be inspired on the way how you see life, and that in how difficult the situation is, there's always a solution for every problem. And of course, I would like also to remember that when we help people, or when we touch people in their lives, you know, that people that you touch will be part of your legacy. And now, if I ever touch you that you're watching right now, you are part of my legacy. And I hope you will continue that legacy to help more and inspire people in so many ways. So hello to kindness all the time, and I hope you're gonna watch Always Miss Joy here on Help TV Cebu every Tuesday at 4 p.m. And thank you so much once again for inviting, and thank you again for all the viewers. And to all my friends that are supporting me, and of course to all the supporters of Miss Joy, and definitely Help TV Cebu. Please like, share, follow, and subscribe on our YouTube channel as well. And don't forget good to make it sure that mo subscribe good mo, and mo like mo share mo. That's very important. That's all I can ask. And thank you once again very much. I love you all, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, DJ Kelly. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, any wonderful experience with Kelly. I'm so proud to be ever since. I know for this, your dreams, you should continue to grab the opportunity and make it work. Crisis, we would all shine again like a diamond, just like Kelly. She shines like, or he shines like a diamond. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Joy De La Cruz of Joy Matters. Afternoon, and thank you for joining on another wonderful episode See you then. Thank you so much.